Yo, this is Worldwide Classic. I'm Southside Tre. The first thing I want to say tonight is I love my city, man. We right here in front of Allstate Arena. This parking lot was jam-packed front to back just an hour ago. This is the main reason why the WWE always comes to Chicago right after they come from overseas. This is always one of the destinations because we know how the fans act overseas. And now we in Chicago where you almost couldn't tell the difference at times. Tonight was a special night. It was a huge night as advertised and then some. We saw John Cena have his final Smackdown match, which was a classic. And I guess since we're talking about that, let's talk about it. Sami Zayn versus John Cena for the United States Championship in John Cena's final Smackdown appearance. It was a classic up until the point that Brock Lesnar brought his big strong down to the ring and interfered. I just don't get it with the WWE. Y'all already was hitting the home run all night. We did not need to see this big strong make an appearance at tonight's Smackdown. Because when Brock Lesnar made his way to the ring looking like an Amish cowboy, the fans could care less. And that's exactly how they should have felt. Y'all had something really special going on. Why ruin it with Brock Lesnar? Y'all should have let that match play out and then let Brock Lesnar come down to the ring. Because then at that point, it's an intermission. Y'all could do y'all thing. At least we could have had a decisive, classic match for John Cena's last appearance. And maybe the WWE is not understanding that part. This was John Cena's last appearance on Smackdown. Why wouldn't you just let this man have a classic match that was decisive and straight down the middle? Why let Brock Lesnar ruin this? That was something y'all should have pulled off in France, because that type of crowd would have enjoyed that more than the Chicago fan base. So that's my only criticism from John Cena's last appearance. It's just y'all having Brock Lesnar bring his weird looking down to the ring, because we just didn't need that. Shout out to Sami Zayn for sending John Cena off the right way. And shout out to John Cena. I've let it be known plenty of times before. I'm not the biggest John Cena fan, but I give credit where credit is due. This man has really had a Hall of Fame career, and he's punctuated that during this retirement tour. So you can't do nothing else but shout out and salute to John Cena. This is one of those moments during the retirement tour that fans are gonna look back on. So you gotta give the WWE credit too, because these people are not as half as crazy as they appear to be most of the time. Y'all knew y'all had to come to Chicago to get this done the right way. And I ain't mad at it. This is why I'm out here. I ain't even go to the show, but I'm out here in full effect representing for the city. But most importantly, we making an impact for Worldwide Classic. The stars just rolled by, seeing the next big star do his thing. I'm Southside Tre. This is Worldwide Classic. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Full-Time Digital House. Follow me on all social media, Southside_Tre. We just getting started. You ain't got to take my word for it. Just make sure you tune in every week. Now, the second thing that happened tonight that was a major part of tonight's show was the return of AJ Lee. People have been speculating about this, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know if it was gonna happen or not. I thought this was just something that fans wanted to see, but wasn't really on the table. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised that AJ Lee did make her return. And it was one of those moments that we're just always gonna look back on. This is why I love Chicago, because if you look back through the history of professional wrestling, Chicago always has some of the biggest shows throughout the Rolodex of wrestling. If you go back to WrestleMania 13, when Stone Cold Steve Austin became a big star, what do y'all think that happened at? Right here in Chicago. I guarantee if you ask the wrestlers themselves where their biggest shows have been at, 70% of them are gonna say Chicago. The facts are just the facts. Ask the New Day. After this night is done, ask AJ Lee. And every time we see CM Punk, we already know what that is. That's why every time WWE comes to Chicago, CM Punk is a vocal point in that happening. How can he not be? The man is a hero out here. Also, I just want to thank everybody that's been tuning in to Worldwide Classic. We just hit 250 subscribers on YouTube, and that means the world to me. I thought about doing this show for 5 years. And for 5 years, I didn't think people even wanted to hear about wrestling on a real level. If you got something that you love to do, don't let nothing stop you. Don't worry about what nobody else is talking about. Go after yours and go get yours. I love every single one of y'all for rocking with me this far. We 4 months into this, and we just getting started. And we already been doing some pretty big things. So shout out to all of the subscribers. Shout out to everybody that's been following Southside Tre, subscribing to Full-Time Digital House. Shout out to the WWE. Even though we get on there about a lot of this lazy booking, I still got to give credit where credit is due. If it wasn't for WWE, none of this would be possible. We wouldn't have these things to talk about and discuss. So I got to give the devil his due in that regard. Now, back to this AJ Lee return. I like the way the whole segment started. I like seeing Seth Rollins up in the skybox talking this shit. I hated the outfit, but that's pretty much been the case for the past 2 years as it pertains to Seth Rollins. So can somebody please explain to this man that as the World Heavyweight Champion, he needs to do a little bit better when it comes to his fashion sense? Because y'all just playing too many games at this point. It's time to get very serious when we think about the presentation of the World Heavyweight Champion. And it's just that simple. He shouldn't look like a lame dad still trying to be cool in his 40s. That's over and done with. As much as I thought I was gonna like Becky Lynch being a part of the Vision, I don't like Becky Lynch being a part of the Vision. I'm almost starting to cringe every time Becky Lynch has had an encounter with CM Punk. And tonight was no different. Even though it set up AJ Lee, it still doesn't matter because it's almost cringe-worthy. And even though it was good to see AJ Lee make that return, we only just got a small sample size, as we should, because AJ Lee has been away from the company for over 10 years. So you knew they were just gonna get her in and out as they were trying to get her reacclimated to WWE lifestyle. So I can't wait to see the adjustments that she makes as time goes on. We already see that this is setting up for a mixed tag team match at WrestlePalooza, or whatever the hell it's called. WWE, I wish y'all would stop coming up with shit and make me not want to say it. It's just that the shit sounds weird, and I feel stupid saying it. So WrestlePalooza, whatever it is, I hope AJ Lee gets enough time to really give us a classic when we get to that event. And I'm pretty sure with CM Punk not only being in her corner, but being her husband, I can't see it no other way. Because at the end of the day, CM Punk is still the best in the world. So again, another classic Smackdown, another classic event in Chicago. I'm just feeling good right now. This is what we doing in 2025. This the momentum that we're rolling into the new year with. So one more time, I gotta thank all of my new subscribers and everybody that's been following Southside Tre. Everybody that's been subscribing to Full-Time Digital House. I can't even put into words how much that means to me after everything I've put into this. So salute to each and every one of y'all. If you know anything about Chicago, you know we get into that time of year where it's cold as hell. I'm gonna get ready to get the hell up out of here. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Full-Time Digital House if you haven't already. Catch you on the next one.